Hello everyone! Welcome to another video today. I am so excited to bring you this little treat box. I think this one is so adorable. I just love him. We're using the Little Monkey stamp set today. Now you can bundle this in our annual catalog with the Little Monkey punch as well that goes along with it. I am not using the punch at all today, so today we are just using the stamp set. The punch will only punch out this little monkey down here and this little banana. So if you're using anything beyond those things, you're going to need to use your scissors to fussy cut things anyway. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use this stamp set. It's so adorable. And we're going to make this little box. So what is in this box? And look at this gorgeous ribbon. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. What is in this box? I am making a box that features these banana Twinkies. I saw these in my local Walmart and I said, oh my gosh, we have a monkey stamp set. I'm totally getting those. So we are going to make a little Twinkie box, a little banana Twinkie box with the little monkey stamp set. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. That tells YouTube that you like what I'm doing and you want to see more. Plus, you never miss a video. It's free for you and it helps my business grow. All right, we're going to start with our box. So grab your Simply Scored and you're going to need a piece of cardstock. I'm using Blueberry Bushel. You're going to need one that is 7.5 by 8.5. So let's go ahead and start on the long side. On the 8.5 inch side, we are going to score it at 1/2 inch, at 2 inches, and at 7 inches. All right, now rotate it to the 7.5 inch side. Now don't worry about writing any of this down. It is all in the video description and you can find it on my blog as well. All right, on the 7.5 inch side, you're gonna do 1/2 inch, 2, 4, and 5.5. And that's it. That's our box. That's our score line. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. So put that away. All right, grab your bone folder. Before we do any trimming, we want to burnish our lines. Remember, this is your secret weapon when making boxes. You're going to get beautiful, pristine boxes with your bone folder. If you are shopping for Stampin' Up! Products, please head to my online store. Use this month's host code. That is the host code for May. All orders this month receive a PDF with 3 exclusive projects. If your order is over $50, you're also going to receive the Make and Take kit that coordinates with that PDF. So it's always a good time to shop, and we have a brand new catalog with lots of great, amazing products in it. All right, on your cardstock, so this is the long side, you have 2 score lines here. This is going to be the tab that tucks into our box. I didn't even show you how this opens. So it opens at the top just like this, and your little banana Twinkie comes out. So this is going to be the little flap. So let's start at the bottom. So down here is the bottom. So we have rectangle, square, rectangle, square. So we're going to cut straight up on those rectangle score lines. We want the bottom to be nice and squared. So we want that to be nice and straight. So cut straight up on those. And then on the little square tabs here in the middle, I fold those out of the way. We're just going to go through and notch them out. Just like that. That is going to get folded up inside the box. Nobody's ever going to see it, so we don't need it to be pretty. We're just kind of taking out some of the bulk there. All right, we're going to do this other one straight up on the rectangle, and then we're going to notch this out just like that. All right, and we're going to do it on this side too. Now this little 1/2 inch tab over here, this is our glue tab, so I'm actually going to cut this at a little bit of an angle and just cut that whole 1/2 inch section off. So that's the bottom of your box. Move that trash out of the way. All right, now let's work on the side here. So like I said, this was your glue tab. So we're going to save that, but we're going to cut off this 1/2 inch piece here. Okay, so trim that piece off. Now from here, this is going to get glued together like this. So that your box is going to wrap around here. So I always like to just double check. This is going to be the part, the flap that folds into, because we want it to fold into the back. So this is the rectangle piece that we want to save. So we're going to cut off this one over here. So just go ahead and cut straight down that score line, down to the second score line, and then we're just going to cut this whole rectangle piece off. Just like that. Now you can save this. This is a decent size. You can die cut some little hearts or something out of that. Okay, now this other rectangle piece, that's going to be like our lid. It's going to be our flap. So we're going to make this one nice and neat. We're going to go straight down that side. And we're going to go straight down this side. We're actually going to make all of these nice and neat, the little tabs too. All right, So fold that piece out of the way and then come back on the little tabs here and just cut off that 1/2 inch score line. We don't need these little lines here. Now, if you have any unevenness or bulk from that score line, go ahead and just cut out that entire score line. So see, I just cut the littlest sliver. I just cut that whole score line out, and that will reduce any bulk, and it will make our corner rounder work a little bit better. So I'm going to do the same on this side. Just kind of want to trim up that score line, just kind of take it out completely. And then that is your lid here. Okay. Now, before we get it all assembled together, we're going to do some punching. So on the flaps and the lid, we are going to go through and do some corner punching and just make all of those corners nice and pretty. I am using just a regular corner punch here. Oops, I didn't get that one very good. We don't currently sell a corner rounder punch, so use whatever you have. You can find them on Amazon if you don't have one. I wish Stampin' Up! Would sell one. We need to bring it back. Okay, but I'm just knocking off the corners of all of these little tabs and the lid. Okay. All right, so that is all of that. So this is what we've done so far. We have one more little bit to punch. I have this little label punch. This is in our annual catalog as well. And I'm going to punch a little finger notch in this piece here. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball center. You can get a ruler. You can measure it if you want. The punch kind of fits right in between there. So if I fold this back on the score lines, you can kind of see it fits pretty much just right in between there. So I'm just going to punch out maybe like 1/4 inch of this punch. Just kind of line it up right in the center, and hold on, there we go. And just punch out just a little bit of that. Okay, and this is all of your trimming done. So if you need to take a screenshot of it or pause the video to trim up your own, you can do that. So this is our box all assembled. All right, I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal Plus to put my box together. It's a nice strong adhesive. You can use our Tombow multi-purpose glue or tear and tape, anything that's nice and strong. So I put on that 1/2 inch tab, I put some glue, and I'm just going to kind of fold this in half like that. This is a box that will fold flat. So if you're making a bunch of these, you can make them up to this point and leave them nice and flat to store them. Okay, so assembly of the bottom. We're going to go ahead and adhere this close, but we're going to do this so that there's nothing on the inside. It's nice and clean. So this is our back. We have our little notch here. So we're going to push in that back piece first. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on one of these tabs. And put that in. Do the other tab and put that in. And then we're going to seal it up with our front piece here. And that's going to give us a super clean bottom. There's nothing on the inside. All those tabs got folded on into the whole bottom there, so there's nothing on the inside. Just give it a little press, make sure it's all in there, and that is going to be your little box, and it'll fold up just like that. Isn't that great? It's such a good size. You can probably fit quite a few things in here. It's a pretty good size box. But we are going to put our little banana Twinkie in here. Fits perfectly, and we'll just seal that up. Okay, so that is our box. So let's get to the rest of our stuff here. Let's do our stamping. I have the little stamp, that little monkey stamp, and some Memento ink. We are going to stamp him. I didn't get out any of my Stampin' Blends. I thought I got everything out. I was so prepared, but I didn't get out any of my Stampin' Blends. I should have put my paper piercer under here, but that's okay. It's a decent image. We'll be okay. And then the little banana. This little banana is the little peeled banana. In the punch, or in the stamp set, the punch will punch out the unpeeled banana, so you can use the punch on that one. So if you want him to hold if you want to save yourself some fussy cutting, you can just stamp the regular banana, and that'll work. All right, one more little bit of stamping before we move on. So we have this little white piece here. I started with a 2 by 1 3/4 inch white piece, and this is gonna go on the bottom for our greeting. I just used the Zany Zoo dies, and I use this little scallop border here, and I just trimmed off the top of that white piece. So look around through your dies, or you may have a punch too that does a fun little border. That's all I did here, and we're just gonna stamp the "I'm Bananas About You" on that in Blueberry Bushel. This is such a fun color. I liked this color a lot when it was an in color, and so now that it's back permanently, I'm loving it. Okay, so let's put the blueberry bushel one aside. We're going to do a little bit of coloring. I'm going to pull out some Stampin' Blends. So I have Daffodil Delight. This is the dark Daffodil Delight, and we're just going to color the bottom part of the peel with Daffodil Delight. No shading on that. It's a pretty small image, so we don't need to do a lot of shading. And actually, let me see if I can zoom in just a little. There we go. That'll help you guys see it. All right, another new color we have Lemon Lolly, and I'm actually just gonna use the light Lemon Lolly for this. And I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit of the peel and then a little bit of the banana, just kind of top and bottom. And I'm gonna pull out my color lifter and just kind of soften those lines a little bit, bring those colors together. That's just gonna give us a nice little look to our banana. Okay, for our little monkey, I'm going to use, let me see if I can pull the right colors on the first round. 500 and I think 300. Yeah, I used 500 and 300. These are in our, like our skin tones collection. They are on the website, and the links will be listed in the video description and on my blog. So I'm going to start with 500. And we're going to just do like his face and his arms first, and then we'll go back into his body. Just want to make sure that we do all the blending in time. So I really like these browns for the monkey, but you can use any of our other browns. We have crumb cake, our new pecan pie. That would also be good. So whatever you want to use. All right, and I'm just going carefully around his face. It's a small little area. It's not a big area to color, so just take your time. And you can color this in any way. If you don't want to use the Stampin' Blends, you can do a watercolor. You can do watercolor pencils. Just make sure that you are using the appropriate ink for those. All right, now I'm going to come in with my darker one. This is the 300. And we're just going to go kind of down on his arms there. And just a little bit like along his chin, under his ears a little bit, not too much. We don't want to make it too dark. And then we're just going to come back in with that 500 and just kind of blend that out just a little bit. Okay, perfect. All right, now for his body, we're going to do pretty much the same. Oh, is this the right one? Yeah, 3. No, we want the 500. Yeah, that's okay. 500 and 300, they get so confusing, especially when they're just numbers and not names. You guys get confused? I get confused. So just go through, do his little legs, do the tail. The tail's a very small area, so just go through very carefully, and then we'll do his back. Just color all that in. I love our Stampin' Blends. They're so forgiving, so you can really, if you think you messed up, you can really just go in and fix it all. All right, with our darker, with our 300, we are going to just go under the back of his head here, and we're going to, up the right side, we're going to go up just a little bit more on the right side, just like that. And just come in with your 500, right? See, I've already gotten myself confused again. Come in with your 500 and just blend that out. And that will leave a fantastic little look to our monkey. Okay, now, do I remember what I used for his face? Is the real question here. I colored these a while ago, so I think that I used the 800 for his face. So we're going to try that, and I know I used Light Flirty Flamingo. So I'm actually going to leave all these markers out so I can just double check this. So Light Flirty Flamingo, and I did his cheeks first because when we go over it with the 800, it's going to soften it a little bit. So do his little ears, the inside of his ears, and then just go over the whole face. We're not going to do any blending on the face, we're just going to fill it in, and we're just going to kind of go over those little cheeks where we did the Flirty Flamingo, and that's just going to soften it. And isn't that just the cutest little monkey you have ever seen? Super cute, right? I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit. We don't have dies, like I said, for the monkey, so you do have to fussy cut these, but guess what? I have them. Oh, here. Magic of Television. I've already fussy cut my monkey and my banana, so we are ready to go for that. So we have our monkey and banana. We have our greeting. And I'm going to take this opportunity just to adhere those together. I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue. You can use a glue dot if you want. But just so we don't lose them, I'm just going to adhere the little banana to the monkey. Now let's set this aside so we can work on the rest of the front of our box. I have a piece of old olive here, and I started with a piece that was 3 3/4 by 5, and I cut it in half diagonally. And then I ran it through my fern embossing folder, so it got some amazing texture on it. And we're going to trim this down even more, and we're going to add some more texture to it. So grab a paper trimmer, any paper trimmer you want, and I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do it this way. So we're going to cut it at 2 inches. So I want the long edge on that 5-inch side at 2. And so we're just going to cut it like this. And then we're going to be left with another little triangle that's going to be layered on top, just like that. So this piece is going to go right on top, just like that. Now to add some extra dimension to this, I want to pull out a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to pull out one of our mini blending brushes and some old olive ink. You can use our larger blending brushes too. I just have this one handy. So old olive ink, and we're just going to go around all of the edges kind of in a messy, kind of haphazard way. We're really just kind of highlighting the edges of this just so that's more defined once they get layered. And if you go over the leaves a little bit, those will get more defined too from that embossing folder. So however you want to do this, we're just going to add lots of color to this. I really like these little mini blending brushes. I think they make quick work for this kind of project. So isn't that fun? So lots of fun texture. We're going to do the same thing for this one. Just make sure that you do it the same way. And look, we're going to end up doing this the opposite way. You see that? Excuse me. Which will be fine. So I'm not too worried about that. You can do this in either direction. And if you end up cutting, if you have a 5 by 3 3/4 piece and you cut that in half diagonally to get this piece, you're going to have 2 pieces anyway. So depending on how you emboss it, you may have to do it backwards. But it's not backwards, right? Only people who see 2 of them at once will know that it's backwards. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we're going to stick these on. I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I'm going to add a couple dimensionals to the back of this smaller one. And this is going to go on. Get my little dimensional pieces off. There we go. This is going to go on. It's going to line up right in the corner up here. It's going to pop up, so it's going to give us just a little bit of extra dimension on there. Isn't that fun? It's just a fun, different kind of look to this. All right, we're going to build up our whole scene before we stick it to our box. We have our little monkey. We're going to add him on with dimensionals. Couple dimensionals on here, and I'm going to grab a little mini dimensional and put it right on the back of the banana. That way that banana stays nice and secure. So peel off all your backings, and we are going to tuck him up under the tree. I'm going to put his tail on top and his foot on the bottom. Just kind of wherever you think he needs to be. Just like that. Okay, I think we're getting there. Now with the bow punch, I punched 3 leaves. So with the little bow punch, I punched 3 leaves. And there's a stamp set, a brand new stamp set in the annual catalog that coordinates with this punch, and I cannot wait to get that one. So we're going to add these little leaves in here. So I'm going to use my liquid glue. You can grab some glue dots for this, but we're just going to I'm just putting it on the very bottom of the stem. And we're just going to kind of push these in here. I'm going to put one kind of going up this way. I'm going to put one kind of wrapped around his tail a little bit. So I'm going to just tuck that in. So it looks like his tail's kind of wrapped around it. And then this other one, I'm actually going to trim off this longer stem. We don't need such a long stem on this last one. And just a little bit of adhesive on the back of that. And we're going to tuck this one kind of under the other ones, just like that. But we want one to go in the opposite direction. I hope that makes sense. You're just kind of filling out the top of that with some leaves. However you want to do it is perfect. If you have leaf dies, you can use those as well. This punch is just so easy and quick. All right, so isn't that cute? So that's ready to go on our card. We have our greeting ready to go. So we're going to stick some dimensionals on all of these so they're ready to go. A couple dimensionals on the back of our greeting and a few dimensionals on the back of this. All right, let's go ahead and peel off all of our backing so we are ready to go we have one more thing to do to our box before we put that on. We are going to add this gorgeous ribbon. So which side's the top? This is the top. So this is the wavy trim. It's brand new in the catalog and it is so much fun. I just love it. It's got this fun little pattern to it. So I'm going to wrap it around and we're going to tie it along kind of the bottom right below the center, I would say. And let's see. Oh, good Lord. This is going to be fun tying this on camera. I'm going to keep rotating my box. Okay, I think we found a spot. Now I'm going to tie it right off to the side. You can put it right on top if you want. I thought that impaired the monkey a little bit too much, so I'm just putting it right on the corner here. And if you need to hold it in place with a glue dot after you tie your bow, please feel free to do that. This ribbon is so fun. It's going to be one of my favorites for sure. I just cut that off and it is ready to go. It's such a fun little ribbon. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stick this down. And oh, you know what? Because we have this going in the other direction, let's just slide this to this side. That way it's all kind of evens out. So this piece will end up right to be the width of the box, 2 inches. So we're just going to stick that down. Isn't that fun? And then to cover up the bottom, we are just going to stick on that greeting, "I'm bananas about you." And that completes our little box. Isn't that super cute? I just love it. And even going the opposite directions, I think that's super cute. It just looks like they're kind of part of the same tree, right? So super cute. I just love this fun little Twinkie box. So I hope you guys love this one too. Please let me know if you make this one. The stamp set is so much fun. I have more ideas coming up with this one, so don't miss out. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss a video. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.